Hello parade watchers, and welcome to a new history video. Today we'll be looking at what I like to call the King of the Muppets. I looked at every Sesame Street character, but let's look at the most famous amphibian, Kermit the Frog, for his appearance as a giant balloon in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. 1977 marked the parade debut of Kermit the Frog, with Henson Associates from his debut year to 1986, later renamed Jim Henson Productions for 1987, as the sponsor. The design, of course, is generic, but on his test flight, the real Kermit appeared as a news reporter to talk about his balloon flying for the first time. Unfortunately, as of 2020, some of the pre-1983 parades is still a piece of lost media for the parade's history, so I can't show it to you because I don't have it, including 1979 when he promoted the Muppet movie, which that year also became history, when Kermit became the first Macy's parade balloon to appear outside of the United States when he was at England to celebrate the International Year of the Child. But we do have 1980 and 1981, with the latter year when he promoted The Great Muppet Caper.
By the way, you saw Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street live out for a ride. You saw them earlier on the Today Show. Now, there are all kinds of different celebrities who appear on television films, but only a handful of what could be called superstars. And interesting enough, almost none of them are green. Maybe that's because they're not frogs. So when you got a frog that's a superstar, you got something really special. And we got them for you right now, all 6 stories of them. Welcome Kermit, the most famous frog ever to leap in the limelight. Maybe because it was such a good color for him. Well, 1980 marks his 24th year in show business, making him the oldest Muppet character still on active duty. Hardly looks out of his teens this morning. Happy Thanksgiving, Kermit. What a marvelous balloon, furnished by Henson Associates. When the conversation turns to frogs, as I'm sure it does at your house nearly every day like it does at mine, it's really no surprise that there have only been a few famous frogs to talk about. But then, 25 years ago, a single frog jumped out of obscurity, and the world has never been the same since. And here he is, Kermit, the one and only, furnished by Henson Associates. Kermit always seems to get a particular kick out of Thanksgiving and being able to greet all the people, and especially all the frogs along the way. He's particularly thankful that frog's legs has never become a favorite American dish. If you ever saw the film The Great Muppet Caper, you'd really know the passengers: battered yellow Minnie, Boscab, Beauregard, the passenger Kermit, Gonzo, and Pussy. Okay, there's Kermit, and joining me now is Donnie Osmond. Donnie, you look beautiful up there. How you doing? I'm cold. I'm doing fine.
For 1983 and over, we do have those footages, including 1984 when he promoted The Muppets Takes Manhattan. Also, in 1985, Kermit had a massive tear in his stomach and managed to continue the entire parade route.
Regards that fine man, it's Acadiana, not Academia or whichever I said. I don't know. I think this is easy. Anyway, when you start to count them up, there really aren't that many animals who are international celebrities. But we do have a few in this parade, and my son assures me that this next one is one. Certainly, Kermit the Frog is among that select group. Now, in olden days, a lovely young lady was always hoping a frog would change perhaps into some handsome young prince. Well, I don't know anyone who would trade our Kermit for some dumb prince who kept combing his hair all the time. Just look at the expressions and the faces in the crowd today, and it becomes obvious to you that Kermit is irreplaceable. He is furnished this morning, as always, and very welcome, by Henson Associates.
excitement of the marching bands. Laugh with the Shirt Tails. And welcome Sha-Na-Na's Bowser, John Bauman, to Herald Square.
Sonia Manzano, Loretta Long, Elena Reed, and of course Big Bird. Our next balloon this morning is furnished by Henson Associates, and I don't think anyone who is watching does not know Kermit the Frog, the popular host of TV's Muppet Show. So 6 stories tall this morning.
Earlier about what a difficult day this can be for all the people responsible for the big balloons and the handlers and getting them down the streets, you know, when you have the rain and the wind and all that. And amazingly, most of them have done very well. Kermit, however, not quite as fortunate. Kermit riding a little low to the ground today, but that's all right. It's good to see him anyway, and the crowd loves him no matter what his elevation is. It's furnished by Henson Associates, a legendary frog. You know, they really have had some problems with the weather in past years. Going way back to 1956, just about all the balloons had to bite the dust. I believe only Mighty Mouse that year was able to make it. And even he was slightly wounded by winds of up to 45 miles per hour. Kermit, we love you anyway. Looks as if he's passed out, actually. You know, I hate to spread rumors here, but there's one going around that some of the other balloons in our parade are a little jealous of our friend Kermit here. See, the reason is he's the only balloon ever to make an appearance outside the United States. He made a special flight over London's Hyde Park to salute Queen Elizabeth and thousands of children who were there to celebrate the International Year of the Child. Furnished by Henson Associates, Kermit today marks his 10th anniversary in this parade. Happy anniversary, Kermit. At 6 stories high, he's being walked, or I guess flown, by no less than 25 green balloon handlers, who, as a matter of fact, look a little like him, as you saw there. He is always a crowd favorite, and he looks better than ever this year. Ribbon.
It's a Thanksgiving feast of entertainment, the Chipmunk Adventure, and Amy Grant, all ahead. Today's broadcast of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, sponsored in part by the Coca-Cola Company and your local Coca-Cola bottler, and by McDonald's. It's a good time for the great taste of McDonald's.
In 1987, when he would be retired after that year, Jim Henson and Kermit received a special prize called the Rolly Award, which is basically a Lifetime Achievement Award for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
You know, Kermit the Frog finally got away from Miss Piggy just long enough to leap down our parade route. Actually, this green fellow, furnished by Jim Henson Productions, some young upstart production company I've never heard of. I'd learn how to pronounce it. They're now making the 11th Thanksgiving appearance, probably giving thanks for being a frog this year, not a turkey. Anyway, this is all home week. Jimmy, what a thrill.
Oh, it's very nice to be back with you again. After 30 years ago, when did we start together?
I said one of the great moments of my career when I believe the first time Kermit and I ever appeared together was on Barn Party on Channel 4 many years ago.
That's right. That's right.
I understand. Kermit, you look younger every day. Jimmy, you... Anyway, Ed Finkelstein, chairman of Macy's, has a special award for Kermit and his years of service to this parade and the country.
Well, thanks, Willard. And just as Hollywood has the Oscar, we have the Rolly Award. And Jim, I'm proud to present this one to you and Kermit, and thank you for 11 years of great parades with us.
All right. Can I thank you? Yes, thank you. Listen, to be immortalized in a large balloon about 75 feet tall and filled with gas is one of the great thrills of my life. And I wish everybody out there could have this same exciting thrill, and it'd be a wonderful parade if they did. And Willard would make a great balloon too, right?
I'm ready, Jimmy, and thank you, Ed. That's our Rolly Award, and thank you so much. It's the best in the business. While we don't have your balloon ready for you, we're all set for a bigger than life, hopefully someday.
We don't have your balloon ready, and you're already bigger than life, and your enthusiasm for the parade. For 7 years, you've done a great job, rain or shine, in reporting to millions watching at home, and which is why we have this surprise Rolly Award for you, too.
Thank you. That's terrific. Thank you so much. We really appreciate the institution. And being with you guys really makes me proud. And Kermit, let's do lunch.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay. I think they shut us up. That's terrific. Thanks.
Really,
what a treat.
Watch you in the morning.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Will.
Good.
Then, on May 16, 1990, Jim Henson, the man who invented the Muppets, passed away from a bad case of bacterial pneumonia. In honor of his legacy, Jim Henson Productions brought the Kermit balloon back to the parade that year with a special tribute during the broadcast, with Willard Scott giving us an emotional moment. And I consider this one of the greatest moments in the parade's history.
Thank you so much, Patty, being escorted down the line and into the sunset in true Western style by 15 riders from the American Quarter Horse Association. And look who's here. Here she is, that shameless pig. I mean, batting those eyelashes at the frog of her choice. Furnished by Jim Henson Productions, it's Miss Piggy and the beloved Kermit, that frog that we all love, riding on our rolls. And watching the parade with us today are members of the Henson family. Beautiful Jane, we love you so much. What a dear, dear friend. And today's Macy's parade pays tribute to Jim Henson, whose magical creations have been a very special part of this parade now for 15 years, especially in the form of that beautiful, beautiful voice and that beautiful style of that magnificent frog.
No, I don't think that success has particularly spoiled the frog.
Oh, Kermit!
Oh, yes, Miss Piggy.
Oh, I am so excited that you have been elevated to balloondom.
Oh, thank you. That's very aptly put.
Kermit, 6 stories tall and filled with 5,220 cubic feet of helium, has flown high, he's flown low. You know, it isn't always easy being green. He's flown in with his friends from Sesame Street. Big Bird, Bert and Ernie, Oscar the Grouch, characters who've become the heritage of a generation. He's appeared in parades with Doozers and Hoosers, other wonderful Henson creations from Fraggle Rock. Kermit was the first Macy's balloon ever allowed outside the United States. In 1979, he journeyed to England to help celebrate the International Year of the Child. A first for a frog, I'm sure. In 1988, Jim Henson and Kermit were recipients of the Rolly Award for their years of service to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And Kermit made a very eloquent acceptance speech.
Can I thank you? Yes, thank you. Listen, to be immortalized in a large balloon about 75 feet tall and filled with gas is one of the great thrills of my life. And I wish everybody out there could have this same exciting thrill, and it'd be a wonderful parade if they did.
Kermit takes a sentimental journey down Broadway today.
He did appear one more time in 1991. However, his head was ripped apart and it was immediately retired after that year. It even inspired artist Alex DeCorda to make an art piece in 2018 of Kermit's accident from that year, even recreating the costumes that the balloon handlers wore at that time.
Well, that's my old friend here. This fella and I go way back, and he'll always be my favorite frog in the whole world. Furnished by Jim Henson Productions, my friend Kermit the Frog was the creation and the alter ego of that wonderful man, the late Jim Henson. You know, Kermit first flew in the parade 15 years ago, but it isn't always easy being green. One rainy Thanksgiving day, he was so low to the ground, it looked like that he was almost swimming down Broadway. But being a frog character, he made it all the way, because frogs are that kind of folks. And today, Kermit is just a little bit sad.
He's flying a little bit low, Willard, but he is flying.
The original Kermit balloon has made a total of 13 appearances, but it did not end for there. The following year in 1992, Kermit appeared at Macy's New York Christmas at Disney's MGM Studios at Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida, along with Snuggle the Bear, Betty Boop, Santa Goofy, and the Humpty Dumpty Falloon. In 2002, in promotion of NBC's original holiday movie, It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie, and a bunch of other events that occurred that year, the Jim Henson Company brought him back as an all-new balloon, and once again, another generic design. Not only that the real Kermit and Miss Piggy appeared on the broadcast being interviewed by Al Rooker about the film, but he was also named Macy's Holiday Ambassador of 2002.
Okay, fellas, this joint is jumping. Feast your eyes on Macy's 2002 Holiday Ambassador. After a 13-year leap of absence, it's none other than Kermit, known as Kermit to his friends, returning as a brand new balloon in celebration of the 25th anniversary of The Muppet Show. That frog with a perpetual smile is furnished by the Jim Henson Company.
And he's big stuff, Katie. At 78 feet long, they'd have to call out 3 stretch limos to take Balloon Kermit on the ultimate star trip. And he's got one coming. This 25th anniversary year alone, the green one had his star placed on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, released the video movie Kermit's Swamp Years, and is about to join Miss Piggy and the gang in a very merry Muppet Christmas movie airing tomorrow night on NBC.
And about being a balloon, Kermit says your head is in the clouds and you're filled with hot air. It's like being on the Today Show.
I knew you were going to play with that line.
So obvious.
Okay, it is official. The a little Chicago and NYC. Meanwhile, leaping down Broadway, star of stage, screen, and swamps, Kermit the Frog, furnished by the Jim Henson Company. This was a busy year for Kermit. In fact, a certain diva wanted him to run for governor of California so she could become First Piggy. Don't say it.
And coming up, Kermit and the whole Muppet gang in It's a Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie, airing Saturday, December 6th, right here on NBC and on a special edition DVD.
Balloon Kermit is big. If he stretched out and napped, he completely blocked traffic across every lane of the Brooklyn Bridge. Then again, stopping traffic is nothing new to this superstar.
To pay for their return... All right, here's a big balloon that could make Miss Piggy green with envy. Kermit the Frog, hip-hops down Broadway, furnished by the Muppets. Balloon Kermit's big. Let loose, he could leap the length of 2.5 football fields.
As you guys know, 2005 will be a big year for Kermit. He'll turn the big 5-0, just like you, Matt, starring the TV movie Muppets Wizard of Oz with Miss Piggy and the gang. And they'll all be featured on official U.S. stamps.
The holiday spirit. Hey, I've done it. It's not so bad. We love what Kermit says about being a big balloon. You're bigger than life. Your head's in the clouds, and you're filled with hot air. It's exactly like being a Hollywood star, and he ought to know.
All right, Katie and Al, the word on the street, Santa...
Interesting that he was originally retired after 2004, and then the Muppet Studios brought him back in 2007.
The Muppet Studio presents the world's most famous amphibian. Flying 50 feet above the crowd is our great friend, the international star of TV and movies, Kermit the Frog.
And Kermit sports his trademark 11-point collar, and he looks stylish as always in green. Now, as you know, Kermit has been green since before it became fashionable. In fact, he has been green since 1955 when he got his start on local TV.
Now, a real frog would have to gain 300 pounds to match Kermit's balloon weight, and he'd have to jump 100 times its range to leapfrog this giant green inflatable.
NBC's telecast of the 81st Annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is sponsored in part by the Nikon D40. Take amazing digital pictures with the easy-to-use Nikon D40. And by Cotton. It's natural. When we return, Santa Claus arrives at Herald Square. Stay with us live on NBC.
For 2008 and 2009, he promoted the special A Muppet's Christmas Letters to Santa.
It isn't easy being seen by 50 million people, but this Dean of Green is used to it. He's the most famous amphibian hopping, and at the moment he's soaring above our world from 50 feet high. The Muppet Studio brings us their most famous creation of all. This is Kermit the Frog.
And on December 17th, Kermit, Miss Piggy, and all the Muppets will be leaping onto your TV screens in A Muppet's Christmas, Letters to Santa, featuring guest stars Uma Thurman, Whoopi Goldberg, and Nathan Lane. This all-new holiday special is a gift from Kermit and company to you. And, of course, you can catch it right here on NBC.
Now from Virginia is the Colonial. When you are short, green, and handsome, it is not that easy being seen. But when you're a 515-pound balloon, it is impossible to miss the world's most famous amphibian. The Muppet Studios presents the King of Green himself, the one and only Kermit the Frog.
You know, Meredith, since starting his career in 1955, Kermit has leaped to fame all around the world, hopping into the hearts of young and old alike. You can catch Kermit and the rest of the Muppets in a star-studded holiday special. It airs on NBC this December 4th and 19th at 8 p.m. It's called A Muppet's Christmas, Letters to Santa.
Here's something you don't.
For 2010 through 2011, the Walt Disney Company sponsored him to promote The Muppets, set to be released on November 23, 2011, which was the day before Thanksgiving for 2011, and this version would be retired after 2012.
50 feet into today's sky, he's the most famous amphibian on the planet. Here's our dear friend and Muppet star Kermit the Frog, smiling and waving to frog fans far below. Kermit's excited to announce that he'll be joined next year on the Hollywood Walk of Fame by the rest of his Muppets family, who will be honored with a star of their own.
And as if that isn't enough, Kermit and the gang will reunite in a new Disney movie, written by and starring the funny and multi-talented Jason Segel, as well as Academy Award-nominated actress Amy Adams. Look for the Muppet fun in theaters on Christmas Day next year.
About 20 miles out.
Look, up in the sky. It's not a bear, not even a pig. It's a frog, the Frog, Kermit the Frog. Yes, the world's favorite amphibian, a holiday tradition in this parade.
And just yesterday, Kermit's new Disney movie, The Muppets, hit theaters. Kermit's laugh-out-loud comedy also stars Jason Segel, Amy Adams, Chris Cooper, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, Animal, and the whole Muppet gang.
But today, the spotlight is on Kermit. a.k.a. Kirby. Just don't tell Miss Piggy. Okay, now's the time to call the kiddies into the room because good old St. Nick and his reindeer are about to land, guys, on 34th Street.
I bet the Swedish chef is busy today.
Heralding Santa's arrival are music.
Waving to his fans from Disney's The Muppets is the world's most famous amphibian, Kermit the Frog. Kermit flew in his very first Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade back in 1977. And this year he has something extra to be thankful for. He has been named Family Ambassador to New York City.
Now, last Thanksgiving, Kermit starred in the hit movie The Muppets, and this year Kermit and the rest of the Muppets are back with music superstar CeeLo to bring cheer to families everywhere with their brand new holiday single, All You Need Is Love. And all we have is love for that high-flying frog.
You better believe it.
For the second version of Kermit, it has made 9 appearances. If you combine the original balloon, Kermit has made a total of 22 appearances in the Macy's parade. And this is one of those characters that can come back as an all-new balloon. So this may not be the end of our famous frog.